and Yingy. I have to be kind of quiet because I think that Will is sleeping, or I don't know. Even if he's not, he's like right next door right now, so kind of awkward. But yeah, but I feel like I probably won't take too long on this since I don't have anything to react to. But yeah, it's like 2:20 a.m. But I'm like fine. Like I'm not like, man, like why is it so late? I wish I were not here right now recording. Like I am like fine right now. Because I've been staying up a little late anyway. So like it's all good in the head and things like that, and I'm not really that tired, so yeah, I'd probably be up anyway, basically is what I'm saying. So, and I thought about doing it earlier, but I was just really wanting to work on the Levi fanfiction, which I've been having like I've been having so much free time, but I haven't been working on it that much. I don't really know why. Like I'm like, what did I even do today? I know I like was sleeping most of the day, to be honest. Like I slept until like 12, and then I think I took like a 3-hour nap or something like that. So I guess that's like what, like 9? No, that's like 11 hours. I don't, so I guess that it like is a long time, and I'm like, what was I doing during that time? I don't know. I could not tell you. No, not 11. That's like 9, right? I don't know. I don't freaking know. No, I think it is 11. Anyways, so basically, um, I don't know what I've been doing all day besides writing my fanfiction and the other days. But anyways, but I told you like 2 days ago that I'd have it in like 1 to 2 days, and I'm gonna be submitting it tonight. So I'm a woman of my word, except not really, because I kind of said I would have it done like 2 weeks ago, I feel. But yeah. And it's funny because like I will be like not really liking what I wrote. Well, not all the time, but like sometimes, and then like I'll edit it just like slightly, and then it's like so much better. Like I feel like it was kind of like iffy, this like new stuff I wrote, but once I went back, because I went back and edited it, like I was doing like a thorough edit earlier today, like at like 3 or something like that. Was that yesterday? Oh, I think that was actually yesterday. And then Emily like FaceTimed me, and then we were on FaceTime for like hours, and then I didn't go back working on it until like today. But after I went back and like edited everything, like I just reread it and was like slowly working through it, I feel like I'm a lot happier with it. But let me know what you think if you can. Whenever you get to that, no rush though, or whatever, it's fine. But yeah, so I'm glad. I'm like gonna re-edit it. I mean, not re-edit it. I'm just gonna like reread it for like just whatever before I put it up there while this is like loading on YouTube. Anyways, let's see. So the past like 2 weeks I've just not been having a good time. Like as we know, I went to church camp and was not wanting to go, and like was low-key because I remember telling Emily, like, because already we like only hung out like 4 times, and then I was gonna have to like go to a church camp, and then she's gonna move, so I was like not gonna be able to hang out with her because I was gonna be at a church camp. So I was like already annoyed about that, and I remember also telling her like even though we'd have like a day or something whenever I got back from it before she would leave, like we shouldn't hang out or anything, because I was like, I don't like, in case I get sick at like the camp, like I don't want to be around you and get you sick. Like I was already planning on just like staying in my room and not like really even going out after camp and then the orientation, because I was like, I'm gonna be around so many people, like I feel like I will get sick. And sure enough I did. Like I was unsurprised. Like I was like, I knew it. Like me, I remember I sent a text to my mom and I was like, or Emily I think, and I was like, man, like me being here at this church camp that I don't even like want to be at, having a miserable time, like only to probably get sick. And sure enough, like I did. Like I was, like I am. So that's cute. So basically I was right all along. And the church camp wasn't that bad. I know I like didn't really talk about it last week, and I was like, I don't want to talk about anything else other than this like cute boy. But it was like not, I mean it was bad. It, make no mistake about it. But those texts were like I was gonna say a little dramatic. I feel like they were not. I feel like they were like necessary and like fitting, and dramatic is not the word. However, it wasn't, it like was all like how I said, but it also wasn't. Like it was like there were times where it was bearable. So, anyways, but yeah, and so then I went to the I left for the orientation on Sunday. That's when I was um last email I was like at the Airbnb my mom rented. And so then Monday I went to orientation and I was fine. I met a friend named Tapasya. She lived in India until she was like in 7th grade and then she moved here. We were both really lost. And so like trying to get to like a small group thing, and turns out we had the same small group, so we ended up finding it together, but we were like 30 minutes late and the meeting was like 45 minutes long, so that was like funny. Um but anyways, and so then it was like lunchtime, I think. Oh, but we had to eat with our small group, so me and Tapasya like stayed sitting next to each other. Oh, and at one point she was like, "Is that a photo card in the back of your phone?" And I was like, "Yeah, it's like it's Hobie from BTS," or she might have said like, or I don't know, and I was like, "It's Hobie," and then like she was like, "Oh, cool," and like she also liked BTS, and I was like, um, and I was like, "Who's your bias?" And she was like, Namjoon, and I was like, "Aw," and then she was like, "Is Hobie yours?" And I was like, "No, it's actually Jimin." Like, "Oh, well," and then she was like, "Do you have any bias trackers?" And like we were just chatting, and yeah, and then at one point we were in like this there's like a speaker talking and we were sitting next to each other, and I was also sitting with this other guy who I was like kind of made friends with, like not really, but like we knew each other's names at one point. I mean, I still know his name. I don't know if he remembers mine or like thought much of it. But and then the speaker like was like doing like small icebreakers with the people next to you, and she was like, say what's like, or like what's your like, explain why your home screen or lock screen is like meaningful to you, to the people next to you. And it's funny because I was not embarrassed at all. Like I pulled out my phone and I was like, this is an anime character I really like, and it was Levi, like a cute edit of him, like a pink edit of him. And then the guy next to me was like, is that Levi? And I was like, yeah, I make cute edits of him, like not embarrassed at all. And then I opened my home screen. I was like, and then this is Hobie. It's funny because like, well, firstly, my home screen is still the same picture of Hobie it was before, but my lock screen is no longer Levi. It is now an edit of Hobie I made. And so it's funny because like lock and home screen is Hobie, and like my phone case is Hobie. So like anyone who's like, are you Hobie biased? Like they would be onto something. They sure would be. But anyways, and yeah, and I really liked Posse. Like she's like so nice. She's like really cool. I'm like we just like connected. Like we just like clicked. Like I met this other girl earlier, and I guess she like, because I don't have a roommate, and she like had one, but they like moved out for some reason, and she was offering for me to like stay in her room as well. And like she was nice and things like that, and like it's not like it would be the end of the world if I was her roommate, but like we didn't like connect. Like I feel like we could only ever get like so close, you know? But like me and Tapasi, I was like, I like would hang out with you like outside of school. Like I just like would go and like hang out with you. Like you are someone I would be friends with. But anyways, and then the second day, I kind of started to have a sore throat. But oh, I took a COVID test because I had Emily bring me, because her family had bought a bunch and it took forever to get there. And by the time it got there, it's like almost expired or whatever. So she was saying, so she was offering some to me whenever like Andrew was, I don't know if I ever told you, but Andrew's oh, I did, because that was like another reason why we couldn't hang out when Andrew's exposed to COVID. So we both took one after a while, like when it would have been past time and we were both negative. And then she gave me another one so I could test before going to the orientation after camp, being around so many people. And so I took one on Sunday morning before we left. I was negative, and then because there's two in a pack, I kept another one just in case, like I could check like I planned. I was like, I'll just check like a day after or something, like after being there maybe 2 days or something like that, or if I start to like feel sick. So Monday I felt fine. Sunday I felt fine. Monday at the first day at the thing I felt fine. But I started to get like I wasn't drinking very much water, and like I tend to get sore throats when I'm like dehydrated and like sleep deprived. It's like common. Like I remember one time I felt really sick before going to Houston. And or to Houston because that's when me and my mom thought we were gonna get a dog, and I felt really, really sick. Not like really, really. I just felt really, really unwell. And I remember like I took a nap at one point. Actually, it might not have been going to Houston, but it was like doing something with my mom. And I remember I took a nap, like 4 hour nap or something like that. And when I woke up, I felt so much better. Like my throat no longer hurt. I still felt like exhausted. And on a normal day, if I had felt like that, I would have been like, man, like I'm freaking tired right now. But because literally before, like I felt unwell, like after my nap, like I no longer felt sick. I just felt exhausted. But I felt like great. Like I was like, this is like peak living, like peak health right here. And so I went on that trip and was fine, and I just needed like a rest, even though before I literally felt like sick and like my throat hurt. So I was like really dehydrated and things like that. But I was like, I mean, like it was like the same as how I would feel when I'm just sleep deprived and dehydrated, which I very, very much was both of those. And we were like walking around in the heat and like all these things, and so I knew I had a negative COVID test like literally the day before. So I was like, and I was trying to wear a mask, but because like at camp I just didn't wear a mask because I knew there was no point because we were gonna be outside in like 105-degree weather and like around a billion people, and I just like could not for like 3 days. Like I just knew I couldn't, and I knew nobody else would be wearing a mask, and I was like, I'm just like gonna face the consequences of possibly getting sick and like staying in my room and not being around people after this. um but at the orientation, I was trying to wear a mask a little bit more, but it was also just like so hot, and we were having to walk outside, and it was like really hard, and also nobody else was, and it was just like hard. I wish I do like low key like wish I wore it more because there was like I think there was like one time inside where I was like not wearing it because we had been outside for like hours and I like was trying to cool down, but I like wish I did wear it, like, and it's like I just always wear one because I'm like I don't want to like the next like if I found out the next day after like not wearing a mask that I had COVID, like I would feel so bad. And so like I've always been like that. I would always wear a mask, but like the one time I like did get COVID, I was like not wearing it 100%, and I'm like, man, kind of like sucks. Also, the girl Tapasi, like I think it's her birthday like today. I'm not sure though, and I probably am just not gonna text her, but she was going to India for her birthday, like literally like after the orientation, and I'm like, if I got her COVID and she like can't go to India to visit her family, like I really don't know. I really don't know. So, and we were like, I was hanging around her the most. So like anyways, me and my mom prayed for her that she would not get sick. But anyways, so yeah, like I feel like that would be like my biggest regret in life is like giving her COVID if like and like so she couldn't go to India like in my life. Actually, I don't know. I still think not standing BTS earlier would be my biggest regret. So that's kind of like fake of me, but like second biggest regret would be that. Anyways, I need to plug in my phone. Don't mind. My feet. Anyways, I'm trying not to think about it and just think about the fact that like we prayed for her and things like that. But anyways, I don't remember what I was talking about before that. Anyways, but so yeah, but Monday I started to feel like a slight sore throat, but I had taken the COVID test on Sunday, and like it's similar to how I would feel like whenever I just am tired and things like that. But it was around midnight on Monday, and I had finished whatever I was doing, and I was like gonna take a COVID test. So I took another COVID test Monday night at around midnight after I'd been there for a whole day, and it was negative again. And I was like, okay, like, you know, um, and so yeah, so I was negative again, and I was like, okay, like whatever. And I went back to sleep, or not went back to sleep, but I went to sleep, and then like when I woke up in the morning, I still didn't really feel good. Like I still felt kind of sick. And it's funny because like I've just had like a horrible like past 2 weeks, like low key, But anyways, I guess horrible is like dramatic. It's funny because I'm like like looking at the things that happened, like it should be horrible, but I feel like it wasn't actually horrible. Like I was kind of just living my life, you know. But like thinking about the things that happened, I'm like that was miserable. But why am I like it wasn't that bad? But like it like was. Anyways, but so Tuesday I didn't really feel that good the next day, and I had like two advising appointments with people, like with different advisors. And so the first one started at 9:30, ended at 10, and then the next one started at 10:30, ended at 11. And I was like making sure to get breakfast and get ready. Like I woke up early cuz I was like could not be late for those. Um so I went to the first advising appointment, and basically like they just like help you kind of pick classes that you want to register for, and like just general like whatever. And so um yeah, and I was talking to him, and he was telling me like or because he asked me if I like knew any Korean, and I was like, yeah, like I know how to read and write it, and like I can have like a basic conversation and things like that. And he was like, okay, like you're still gonna have to like start from Korean 1 and things like that. And I was like, oh, like that's kind of lame, but like okay. um and then he was like saying things like he gave me specific classes to kind of look at, and like choose from like some of the suggestions he gave and things like that. And he told me to like focus my schedule on Korean, since that's like my major, I guess, kind of. He was like, and it's like 6 credits, whereas most classes are like 3 or 4. So he was telling me to like focus my schedule around that. So anyway, so I meet with the second advisor, and like he just kind of guides you like with like general like pick from out of like there are like classes like how Korean it's called like KOR 606, you know? So like for history classes there's like history like HIS like 6K or something like that. So he'd give me things like that, like choose from a HIS 6K class, or like things like that, you know. But then whenever I went to the other advisor, she'd go from like the general things he would pick, and like actually like look through the actual courses that were available under the various requirements I need, you know. And some had like more or fewer options, you know. And so we were going through them, and when we went, we like I said Korean, you know, because that's like my thing. And then she looked at it, and it was like it said like waitlisted like all 4 of the Korean classes, and she was like, oh, like that's waitlisted, you can't take it. And I was like, that's like my like major though, like that's like, you know what it is. And then she was um like you can't do anything about it if it's waitlisted, like you can just take it next semester when you register for classes. And I was like, is there like can I like or I was like, can I like get on the wait list then? Like, and she like it was like, yeah, and like explained it to me how to do it. And I was like, can I like is there anything else I can do? And she was like, no. And I was like can I email the professors? And she's like, I mean, you can try, it's kind of a hit or miss or whatever like that. And I was like, do you know like how likely it is that I'll like get off the wait list? And she's like, I've been on a wait list with one person and didn't get off it, and I've been on a wait list with 20 people and got off of it. And I was like, okay. And she was just like really like not being helpful at all. And I remember like my small group leaders, they're just like students. Which she was a student too, but the first man I had met with, my first advisor, he was like a grown like staff member. But my small group leaders, they were like, I remember one of them was saying something like, if you have a class you want, like, and he was like giving all these suggestions like how to be able to take it and things like that. And he was like, don't give up, like you can do it or whatever. And he was like helpful, and she's just like, yeah, there's like nothing you can do. And I remember like I remember at one point I was like, this is like kind like the taking like this class is like kind of like the reason I'm like going to college. Like that's what I said. I was like, this class is like the whole reason I'm like going to college. And then she's like, you can just take it next year. And I was like, okay. And I was like about to cry right there. um and so we just like made a schedule full of like other classes I was like that were like history and like things like that I was really just not interested in. And then I left, and then it was like 11, and I was leaving the place, and then I went the wrong way because, like, the way I went up, I could go up, like, 3 escalators, but then I went the wrong way, and I realized I basically went in a circle, and it was, like, right there, but to get to the escalator thing, I'd have to pass by people again, but I was right by, like, a staircase, so I was just gonna go down the staircase and, like, hope it wouldn't make me, like, on the opposite end of things, and I'd have to, like, walk around, but I went to the staircase, and it was really empty, and I remember I sat down, and I just started, like, crying because I was like, man, like, me not being able to take Korean. And I sent Emily, like, a really, really long text. Like, it was, like, maybe, like, the longest text I've sent in my life. Just, like, explaining, like, what had happened and, like, my thoughts. And I just remember, like, I was so upset because it was, like, I didn't even want to go to that freaking school. Like, I only went there because, like, they were one of the very few schools that, like, had a Korean class at all. Not even the Korean major. Like, the reason it doesn't have like, or like it not having Korean as a major is the entire reason I'm like wanting to transfer out of there. So clearly, like, firstly, like, having a Korean class is important to me, and more than that, like, having like a good one, like being able to major in it and take like good Korean classes is important to me. Like, and so, like, the fact that I couldn't for, like, half a year, like, that, like, half the time I would spend at that school, like, I was like, that's, like, ridiculous, like, that it's my major and I can't do it. Like, it's not my major, but it, like, my major is, like, East Asian language and culture, and I'm, like, have a specification in Korean, so, like, the class that's, like, technically for my major is, like, ANS, which is, like, Asian studies, and then it's, like, the title of the class is, like, Korean history and culture, so it's specific to Korea. And so then that has like the culture part, and so then the language part, you know, so like it like is my major basically, even though my major isn't actually Korean. And so like the fact that I couldn't take it was like ridiculous. And um and just the fact that I'd be there at that school I didn't even want to, and like couldn't do the reason I'm in college is to learn Korean. Like that's literally why I'm like going to college. And so like I couldn't do that at the school. Like, and I just kind of made peace with like the fact that I was going to that school. And I was like, it's fine, like, I'm just gonna, like, try to enjoy this year and, like, whatever, like that, and things like that. And, like, I just, like, it was just ridiculous. And then also, like, I felt, like, even more sick that day. And, like, it had gotten to the point where after my second meeting, like, I felt, like, lightheaded, like, my body, like, my whole body felt sore. Um, like, at one point, I felt a little dizzy, like, going up the escalator or something like that. And, like, just my whole body hurt, and, like, I just like felt like unwell, like I just felt sick in my whole body. And I was sitting there like texting Emily, like crying, and then I just copied and pasted the message to my mom, and I was like, I just like copied and pasted this, so don't mind it like not making sense, because at one point I was like, my mom blah blah, and like, hey girl, and like I don't know, whatever. Anyways, um oh, and the other thing is, whenever I was talking to the second advisor girl, there was like there's like an accelerated Korean class, and I don't really know what that means completely, but like um I remember asking about it, and I was like, could I take this class because it wasn't waitlisted? And she was like, well, the language programs are or cause, and then she asked me how much Korean I knew, and I said the same. I was like I know, like I know how to read and write it and like basic conversation or whatever. And she's like, well, the language program here is like really difficult already, so no, like you can just take it next year, and or next semester. And I was like, okay, you know, that's good. um and so like yeah. And anyways, oh my, yeah. And so, but I had to register for classes the next day at like starting at like 1, and I had like a Zoom call meeting with the first advisor man at like 12:45, so he could like, I don't know, like answer questions or something beforehand. So I was going to ask him like what he thought about like taking the accelerated Korean class instead, and just like explain like I'm fine like studying extra hard and things like that and whatever, and like that I actually like care about it and whatever. But like obviously to an extent, um like if I just wouldn't understand anything, like obviously it wouldn't be a good match. But like I was just gonna like see if there was a chance or whatever. Anyways, but so then I got home and or back to my like to like kind of the dorm area, and I was eating lunch in like a corner by myself. And and then I went back to my room, and I, like, whenever I was texting my mom, she was like, I was like, can you, like, pick me up or whatever, like, because she was nearby, like, the Airbnb was, like, 7 minutes away or something. I was like, can you, like, pick me up or whatever, and she wanted me to just, like, rest and see how I was feeling after that, and I was like, I just want to go home. But I went back to my dorm, and I slept for, like, 2 hours or something like that, and I still felt bad. And so I was, like, asking if she could, like, take me, and she's like, okay, like, yeah, like, I'll take you home. But then I was kind of like, even though I was, like, low-key, like, begging her to take me home, I was like, after that, I was like, how, like, should I actually, like, do this? And I was like, how? And then I was thinking, like, I have a room key, you know, and I was like, how do I, like, what do I do, like, about, how do I turn in my room key and, like, things like that? And I was also, like 99% sure that, like, registration would happen online, and that it would be fine if I was, like, not on campus and things like that. But I was also, like, not positive, and I just wanted to make sure I'd be fine to register. And also, there's, like, required things you have to do in order to be able to register, and I'm pretty sure that, like, basically the only things that were actually required were the 2 advisor meetings, which I had already done. But, like, on the schedule, there was, like, other required things, like, or I had, like, that Tuesday there was, like, another small group meeting that I would miss, and it said required. But the other things, like, the other times we just kind of, like, played games, and, like, they went over, like, basic information. So I was like, and they didn't take attendance, so I was pretty sure it'd be fine if I just left and registered online, but I wasn't totally sure. So anyways, so I was trying to figure out, like, the logistics of it, and I realized, like, either way, like, I'll need to, like, call someone or something, because I need to, like, check out, and I don't know how to do that because checkout was, like, Wednesday, and it was only Tuesday, but I just wanted to leave because I wasn't feeling good. And so I found a number on, like, the student orientation help thing, like, something about that, and, like, I called it, and then it just took me straight to, like, an automated message saying that, like, they're working, like, virtually or something, so, like, email them for, like, a quicker thing or something like that. And I was like, okay. So I just emailed them, which, fun fact, they literally never replied, so kind of fake. But I emailed them, and I just decided to, like, pack up my stuff while waiting. And because I was, like, low-key sickly, it took, like, a while of me pack. It's funny because I was, like, not planning on making this long, and I'm just talking on and on about this. But so I was just packing up my stuff while waiting for for them to reply to the email, and it took, like, an hour. Like, my stuff, like, was everywhere, but, like, it shouldn't have taken me that long to get ready. Like, it could have taken me, like, if I were, like, in a rush, it could have taken me, like, I don't know, maybe not 10 minutes, but definitely, like, 15. Like, it was, like, I just had to, like, stuff clothing in my bag, basically, and, like, throw things away. But anyways, and they never replied. And then I was texting my mom, and I was like, they didn't reply, whatever. And then I asked her if she could just, like, come in and, like, talk to someone at, like, the front desk or something, because I didn't want to go and talk to someone and have to be like, hey, like, can I check out, like, I'm sick, like, while talking to them, like, to their face, you know, because that's, like, embarrassing to be like, hey, I'm sick, so I need to, like, leave, like, right up in their face, you know. And, like, it's rude, but, like, also it's just, like, embarrassing. But so asking my mom if she could do that, but then she just sent me, like, a number about, like, some kind of, like, health nurse or something like that, like a nurse's number at the school, and was like, try calling them first or something like that. And I was like, okay. So I called the nurse, explained the situation. She put me on the phone with someone else. I explained the situation. She put me on the phone with someone else. And then I think it was, like, the third, maybe fourth person I spoke to. At this point, I'd been on the phone for, like, an hour with different people, or something like that. And the last person was like, okay, you can email, like, this email or whatever. And then I didn't even, like, I was having to write down different numbers and things like that to call people. I didn't even write it down because I knew it was the same email that I'd literally emailed, like, just a second ago. And so I was like, okay, thank you. Or not a second ago. It had been, like, an hour and a half or something, or 2 hours by the time I emailed the same email that they gave me. So I was like, okay, thanks. I hung up, and I just, like, bust out crying. Like, I was, like, sobbing in my room. And then another number calls me and it's from Austin, so I'm like, it's probably someone at the school calling me back, so I answer it. And it's funny because I was literally like crying, like and then I was like, hello, and like I feel like you could not have told that I was just crying. And like the rest of the call I was like so normal. And then the person actually put me on another phone number instead of like the email, and this person was like at the front, I guess at like the front desk or something like that. And this person was like the person who actually helped me and was like saying that I could check out. And I remember, oh, and then they asked, or they said like I would have to have my mom call them to like give them permission and things like that, and then I could check out. And I was like, okay, thank you. And then they're like, do like I like I'll give you my number or whatever. I was like, okay. And then so then I texted my mom, but she had to go to the bathroom, so she wasn't gonna call them yet. And then she was just gonna call them when she was like about or something, I don't know. But then he ended up calling me back and was like, asked for my, or I don't know. Anyways, but then my mom ended up like giving them my permission and things like that, and then she was there waiting for me, and I wanted her to like come up and like help me with my bags, but then she couldn't like go where the students were, and so I had to carry like a billion bags. And it was embarrassing because like I was wearing a mask inside most of the time anyway, but it was embarrassing to be wearing a mask and like wearing pajamas because I just went to sleep, so I changed out of like my cute clothing I was wearing earlier, and like carrying all my bags going downstairs because I was like, everyone probably like knows that I'm sick and like going home because of that. And I was like, this is humiliating. Anyways, and I went down there, had to like do all this stuff to check out, and then we left, me in my pajamas, and we stayed at the Airbnb for a little bit. And I was like, I remember asking my mom, I was like, are we gonna leave today or tomorrow? And she was like, probably tomorrow. I was like, okay. And then I was like, so I'm just gonna like register for my classes at the Airbnb then. And she was like, I guess what time is it at? And I was like 12, or like 12:45 to like 1 or to 2. And she was like, we have to be out of here by 10:30. And I was like, oh, like, and I think I was like, can we go home today then? And she's like, no, I was wanting to go home tomorrow. And I was like, so like I'm supposed to just be at a Starbucks registering for my classes with COVID? And she was like, we don't know that you have COVID. I was like, still. But she ended up agreeing to take us home that on Tuesday rather than Wednesday that same night. So I was grateful. But we went home first. I was also surprised because we ended up getting home at like 12, like midnight something. So it was like uncharacteristic of my mom to like do that. But I was really glad because I got there thinking we would have to go home tomorrow or the next day, and just took a nap. And I still felt sick when I woke up from the nap, but my mom was like kind of cleaning and things like that. And she said something about like going home that day, and I was like, are we leaving? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, you are a real one. So I picked up my stuff too. And oh, I also took a COVID test because the school gave me one. They were like the guys on the phone with was like, yeah, we have COVID tests if you want to like take one. I was like, sure. And then I took it when I was at the Airbnb with my mom. And I don't know if you've ever done one of those like self-tester things, but like you have to like swab your nose and then like put it in a solution and then like put 3 drops of the solution in like this thing, and then there's like a C and a T, and then like if there's a line underneath the C and that's it, then you don't have COVID, but if there's a line under the T and the C, then you do have COVID. And you're supposed to wait like 15 minutes or something like that. And all the times I've done it, like it's just the C like appeared there and like stayed there. But whenever I did it, like I looked back at it like 2 or 3 minutes later, and you're supposed to wait 15 minutes, but I saw both the lines and they were like dark. Like it's like sometimes if it's like the like T line is really light, like you still have it, but they're both dark lines. And I was like, there's no way the T line is just gonna disappear. Like, you're only supposed to have one line if you're like COVID free. And I was like, in like 2 minutes, I was like, I have COVID. So we just threw away the test because we were like, it's time to like get out of here because we're just trying to leave. And so I wanted to get the Korean barbecue thing on Wednesday, the next day, but obviously we were like leaving, and so I asked my mom, I was like, because she offered me food earlier, but I was like just not wanting to eat anything. But then at that point I was like, it's not like, or I was like, it's probably like too late to get the Korean barbecue food, right? And she was like, no, I can order it, like, because that'll be probably faster. And then we just went to like pick it up. So I ordered the thing I had gotten last time when we visited Austin as well. And I was also gonna get like the lavender boba. I don't know if I feel like I must have talked about it like at least like once, but probably multiple times, because I was like, it was so good when I got it, and I've literally been looking forward to like going to orientation since like visiting, like for the sole reason of like getting this food and like the lavender boba, because I'd never heard of it or seen it anywhere else, and it was so good, and I like lavender flavored things. So we were looking online on DoorDash, and they didn't even have the lavender boba, and I was like, this is the worst, like actually, like this is the worst. And so I just ordered like some strawberry milk tea or something like that with boba, and but I was like, this is like so lame. And it also sucked because like not only could I not get what I wanted like in the moment, but I was like, I've never like even heard of lavender boba before this, like where else am I supposed to get it? Like there's like nowhere else. And then anyways, but then we got there, and we just parked, and my mom went inside to get it, and it took kind of a while, and then she came out and she handed me the food, and I tried to poke a hole in the top, but I couldn't really. I was like struggling, like there's just a tiny hole, but not enough for my straw to go in, and like some of the liquid kind of came out on the top, and I like licked it, and then I was like this like tastes like the lavender boba, but I'm like not sure because it was just like a tiny like little bit, but I like it sure tasted like it. And then I like poked a hole, and I like was sipping on it, and I was like, is this the lavender boba, to my mom? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, or it's funny because when she walked in, I was like, were they not ready with the order yet? And then she was like, not the boba, and I didn't really think anything of it. And I was like, did you just see that they had it and order it? And she was like, yeah. And I was like, man, like mom of the year up in here. And I asked her what happened to the other one. So I guess like when she went in there, she got the order and like realized that they actually had the lavender boba. So she ordered it, and she just gave the strawberry boba to like some random girl. Like just was like, here you go, do you want this? And she was like, yeah. And then like waited for mine. And it's funny because I just could not stop thinking about the girl. I think she was like door dashing is what my mom said. So she like wasn't getting anything because she was door dashing, and so she got the like, I just kept thinking about that girl, and I'm like, man, like she just probably is having the best time of her life. Like if some random lady gave me like free boba, like that would be the best day of my life. So anyways, and then we get home, and I have to stay up till like 2 because I'm like, I found like a few of my classes, but there's like one or two that she was like, you can look at this yourself and choose specific ones. But I had like the like general thing I had to look under, and then I had to find like backups for a bunch of my classes. So it was like 12:45. The next day I hop on the Zoom call with the guy, and he's like, does anyone have any questions or something like that? And I'm like, yeah, like you, or I had to retell him like my major and things like that, like the East Asian language and culture, and I was like, with specification in Korean. I was like, and you told me yesterday to focus my entire schedule around this Korean class, but when I met with the advisor after you, she told me that like it's waitlisted and I couldn't like whatever get in it or whatever. And then he was like, let me check. And then he checked, and he was like, it's not waitlisted for me or something like that, or it doesn't say waitlisted. I was like, oh. And I was like, is it only for like certain people or something, or like, and he was like, yeah. It didn't really make sense to me, but I was like, okay. He was like, if you have any trouble like getting in, let me know. And I was like, okay. And I didn't even have to ask him about like the accelerated Korean or things like that. So anyways, so I go, it's like it's like it's 1 p.m. and we start registering, and there's something called like special, like I already forgot what it's called, but it's like a special class, and they fill up really quickly and you have to have one. And so I had, or not, I think you just have to have like one for like 1 credit your whole time there, so you don't like have to have one every year or something like that, but you have to have one. And so I chose one. It was like called like fashion, beauty, and like culture or something, and it's um like why people like dress the way they do and like for their appearance and things like that. And so that sounded like interesting to me, and so that was my first choice. And then I had like 3 other backups. I don't even remember what they were. And so I put so they tell you to sign up for these classes first because they fill up. So I put the first one in like the registering thing, and it was like, this class is full and there's no wait list. And I was like, man, that was like really freaking fast. Put in the code of the second one, it's full. Third one, it's full. Fourth one, it's full. It's like all 4 of them in a row. All of them are full, and I'm like, I don't like have any more backups. Like I don't even know what to do. So I just move on to the next thing, which is like linguistics or something, which was like counted as my social science credit or something. And because the second advisor told me that she had taken it before and liked it, and that she thought it would like fill up, so I put that one in next. Oh no, you know what? I think I'm telling that wrong. Before I did that, after I'd put in like, after I'd put in all of the like special classes that were all full, like in all my backups, I was like, okay, I'm just gonna put in Korean and like see if I can get in. I put in Korean, and it said like, this class is full and you can't join the wait list because you don't have any classes on your schedule yet. And I was like, dang. So then I put the linguistics class, I got into that one, and then I put my Asian studies class because I like need that class too. So yeah, I like was like, don't want that to get filled up. Then I tried the Korean one again, and then I don't really remember, but then the guy, he was like, does anyone need help or anything like that? And I was like, so I tried to like do the Korean class, and it like didn't work. Like it's telling me it's full. Um and then I was like, I'm gonna try the other codes, but like, because there were like 4 classes at different times, but the same like Korean one. So I was like, I'm gonna try the other ones, but I don't know. And then they were all full. And then he was like, okay, like, and then he was like, okay, like, I'll put you in the 33355 class. And then he just put me in, and it was suddenly on my schedule. And I was like, you, sir, are like the realest person in my life right now. And I was like, he just manually like put me in there, and I was like, man, you, sir, you. And so basically, like, I could be in that class after like all the ordeal I had had the day before. And yeah, and so then I had 12 credits at that, wait, yeah, I had 12 credits at that point, which is a full-time student, but I wanted to have 15 just to like be extra safe and in case I needed to like drop one or something like that. Um, and so I was trying my history classes, but none of them were fitting with my schedule. And I tried to find more of the special classes. Like I went back to the catalog of classes, and like whenever I looked at it, like they were all showing closed, And I was like, man, like what isn't closed? And I was like trying to find like anything, and it wasn't working. And like all my history classes were like booked up, or they like no longer fit with my schedule, because I had made a schedule like of all my first choices, that would fit onto the thing. But since like nothing was working, because like it was different, because now I had Korean and like didn't have like certain classes, I just didn't even know where I had openings anymore, so I was just trying random things. And then the only thing that ended up fitting was like a biology class, which I was like not wanting to take. But I was asking about it, and I was like, do you think it'd be hard? Like, I'm not good at science. And he was like, well, like, or because he gave me like a list of like bolded ones, which are for non-science majors, so they should be easier. And he said that, and I was like, it was from the bolded list. And he's like, okay, like, you can try it out. It just kind of depends on like your schedule and like whatever, and like, but you can drop it and you'll still be a full-time student. And I was like, okay, cool. And then later I looked at it, and it's funny because I realized like it let me choose, because it would tell you if it conflicted and it wouldn't let you add it to your schedule. But biology, like, definitely, like, I have it, I think like 5 days a week, and maybe I think it is 5. maybe 4 though. But every single time I have biology, every day I have biology, like there is a conflict with a class, but it didn't say anything because like on like some days it ends or it starts, or like my linguistics class ends at like 3 or something like that, and my biology class starts at 3. That's not the exact time, but like so it like and like it's probably not near each other, and it'd probably take at least like 10-15 minutes of a walk, you know? It's like I'd be late or early to both classes. Or you know what I mean? And then the other day it's like my Korean class ends at like 12 and that class starts at 12, you know? So I might just end up dropping it, like, to be honest, because I'm already just like not wanting to take biology. But besides that, besides just having to take biology and like the little um confliction with that, my schedule is like perfect because I'm in like Asian studies, like Korean history and culture, the language Korean, and then linguistics. So it's all around like language and Korean and things like that, and so that is like very ideal. But yeah, but I am a little stressed because I have to like submit my transcripts and things like that, and it's funny because this is like gonna be a long recording, like it just is. So that's funny. Like this is gonna be not long, and it just will be, because I just still have more to say. But anyways. But so this is like funny because this means it's like 3 a.m. now, like almost. And like by the time I finish reading it, like that is funny. Like I didn't really think about that, but this taking an hour like means it will be 3 a.m. Anyways. So that what time is it? It definitely is 3:06 a.m. So says my laptop. So, and then this I'll have to upload to YouTube, and I'll have to like read the thing, which I can read it while it's uploading, but basically like I will be in bed by like 3:34. So that's sexy. But anyways, I don't even remember what I was saying. But yeah, I need to like submit my transcripts and things like that, and I can't even start college until those are like submitted. And I like realized that on Wednesday. It's funny because it's Sunday now. But I realized that on Wednesday, um after like choosing all my classes, I was like, I need to like do this. But I was like not gonna worry about it because I was like, after the time I've had, I'm just gonna like go to sleep and like rest all day. So I did like nothing the rest of Wednesday, and then I did nothing on Thursday. Like I swear I was on my phone like all day. And then Friday, I don't even remember. Saturday, I was on FaceTime with Emily, and there's this like you should write this on like your to-do list for what you should do when you're gonna get home. But there's a game called BTS in the Seom or something like that. And I'm like, is that actually what it's called? Seom, Seom, means island in Korean. And it's like a really fun game that I got. It's like popular right now because it's like, I mean, obviously why wouldn't BTS fans get the game? It's kind of like Candy Crush, but like as you play like the levels, you get to like it advances you in this story, I guess, kind of. It's not like really a story, but anyways, but it's fun. But so Emily called me, and she was just working on like packing up her stuff, so it was just kind of one of those calls where we're not actually talking the whole time. And before I was taking like a small break from like working on the fan fiction, but I wasn't gonna do that while we were on the phone, obviously, because like I couldn't focus. So I was just playing that game for like 6 hours, like just like, yeah. I feel like it was not actually 6 hours, but it sure felt like a very, very long time. And then today I like don't even know what I did. Oh, I watched a K-drama yesterday, and today it was like 6 episodes long, and I thought I was finished, but I remember I was looking at it and I was like, what time is it? And it was like 20 minutes left, 10 minutes left, 7 minutes left, and I was like, how is this gonna end? And then turns out it didn't. It was like not over, so I guess they're making a second season or something, but usually like, I don't know, I just thought it was over, so, or I thought that was like all of it, so I was kind of surprised. But I was like, man, but it was pretty good. It was about like a money heist. Anyways. And so, yeah, now we're here, basically. I felt, so Tuesday is like probably the height of when I felt bad. I don't really remember how I felt on Wednesday, but I think it would have been Wednesday, like the next day after Tuesday, after like going to sleep and like having a full night of sleep. Like I felt like good. Like I was like, I feel like so much better. And then I think on like Thursday, I felt like 100% good. Like I was like, this is how a well person feels. Like this is what a healthy person feels like. It was like comical how like quickly I felt better. Like I felt sick on Monday, like a sore throat, and then Tuesday I just felt really sick and it just kept getting worse, and then I just felt fine after that. I was like, it's fake, like COVID is like not real. Um but and then it's funny because like so I was like Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday I kind of felt like just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit worse. Like still much better than like Monday though. And then Saturday and Sunday, like today and yesterday, I just like feel like I like got a little worse. Like I don't know. Like I feel like yesterday I like got even worse. But and then today I feel like I got a little bit better, but I like better, but it's just like a little funny how like low-key I got like way better and then I was like no longer feeling 100%. I'm like mostly fine. Like it's not like I don't actually have much to complain about. However, I will say I feel like I've like been losing my mind having to stay in my room, which normally I wouldn't. Cause I very like normally I'd be like glad I have an excuse to stay in my room. I don't know what it is that I just feel like I've been going crazy. It's because I think it's because I'm like so tired. And so I feel like I'm just wasting my time because I'm like I don't actually want to like do anything. Like I don't want to like be alive. Like I don't like want to exist right now. Like I just want to like everything. Like I don't want to do anything right now. So I think it's kind of just been like me like wasting my time and like watching Instagram reels for like hours and things like that. I think that's just what it's been. And then I'm like, how do I fill up my day? Like it's like when I wake up at like 12 p.m., I'm like, how am I supposed to fill up this entire day until I feel tired again? I think that's what it is. And then also just not really being able to like have like being able to like go downstairs or like not wanting to like go downstairs to eat a lot, you know? So I've only been eating like twice a day, but it hasn't been like bad. I haven't really been very hungry, probably because I'm like literally also the other thing is I'm not moving like at all. Like I'm just been staying in my bed and like things like that. Like 2 steps every day. So I've been exerting so little energy that like that's probably also why I haven't really been feeling like I need to eat much. But I also kind of was wondering if that's like why I'm like feeling worse to be honest. But yeah, and so yeah, like I kind of also felt bad because I was like my body like cuz I was like not like I'm not moving like at all. I was trying to like I did like 10 push-ups today and like 25 jumping jacks and like stretching and um things. Anyways, I don't know if that did anything, but my throat kind of hurts from talking, so that's like funny. But yeah, also like whenever I wake up, like I just like don't really feel well. Like I feel like I don't know. It's not like I haven't been sleeping good, but it's just like almost feels like I've been sleeping too much. I don't know. But yeah, I'm like going a little stir crazy. Also, like the elders have texted me multiple times, and it's funny because I'm like, I just never want you to text me ever. Like, please stop. Like, I should. Oh, I can't go to what they said. It's funny because like before I was like I'm being mean, and now I am like I don't care. Like I just like genuinely like don't want them to text me anymore. Like it's funny because like I hate when people text me. Like I just do, and like oh, it was like Wednesday and they texted me and they were like, "Hey, like do you want to meet like tomorrow evening or this weekend?" And I was like, "I've been gone for like a week, like an exhausting awful week, and like I'm not meeting with you tomorrow. Like I literally just got home. Like I'm literally not meeting with you. I guess I got home like the day before at like midnight, but if I were going like if I got home normally, like I would have gone home like the day before they were suggesting to me at like 4 or 5 or 6 p.m. So I was like I'm like literally not like I'm like literally not gonna, which also I had COVID. Like I was like I have COVID. Like it's what I told them. I was like I like have COVID. But I was like I like will not be meeting with you. Like I'm like I don't want to like I'm like out people. Like I don't want to meet with you for like a month. Like that's how much time I need to recharge, sirs. And so anyways, I was like I have COVID. And then they're like and then also the other thing is like they gave me like whatever thing like the like mission thing to read from that guy, you know. I don't remember what it's called. The mission talk or whatever. It's not, I don't even think it's a mission talk, just like the talk. I was supposed to like read it every day and like whatever and like abide by it and things like that. And I haven't read it once since because like I left like right after that meeting basically and and got back on, so I guess it's like low-key been a while since I've got back, but like I've just been in my room and I just like I don't know, I just can't, like I just like haven't even been able to like try to send in my transcripts. Like I am like burnt out from that week. And but by the time they were texting me, I was like, I haven't read it once. Like I wasn't gonna like do this while I'm like at my orientation or at church camp. Like I had a full schedule, but like that entire week, like no time, no time. And so even if I was like ready to go and meet again, like I would have nothing new to contribute to anything since I just have not had a chance to do the thing, which it's funny because I have had a chance like these days, but I just like it has just not happened. It just really has not happened. Maybe tomorrow since it is a whole new week, brand new day. But anyways, but yeah, so technically my first, I don't know, I guess I had like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So that's like that is a long time at this point. But I've just been really, really tired and burnt out. And not just not even wanting to be awake. So yeah. But so basically, oh yeah, I was like, I have COVID, and they were like, oh man, like is there anything we can do to help? And I was like, it's funny because like I was like annoyed, like I was like they were being all nice and I was like, stop, like don't talk to me, like I just like I just don't want you to talk to me, like stop messaging me, like I just was like, just don't talk to me. And so then I think I replied like a day later and I was like, I'm okay, haha. And then this morning I woke up at like 10 p.m., and my phone was on do not disturb because I like will wake up when I get messages and things like that. And I checked my phone to see like if I had any messages or like what time it was, and I saw that they had messaged me like, hey, how are you feeling today, or something like that, with like a smiley face. And that smiley face like low-key like a little bit annoyed me. I was like, leave me alone, like I don't want you to text me. And I clicked on it by accident, and then it like it's funny because my phone wasn't even open yet, but I clicked on it and it like opened straight away to their message, and I was kind of like shocked in that moment, and I wasn't even like planning on waking up for the day. And so I was like dead because I just read it, and then I was like, I'm going back to sleep. And so I did, and woke up at like 12. Or actually I think I woke up at like 1. And and then I never replied. So that was today, or technically yesterday because it's like 3 a.m. now. But anyways, that's just a fun little rant. It's like funny because like they're being nice, like they're like, how are you doing? And I am like, shut up, like don't talk to me. Anyways, I feel like my great desire to not be talked to them ever, like I'm like keep like a business relationship, like you don't need to text me how I am, like only like when are we meeting, which we're not because I have COVID. Like I'm like, don't even text me like ever, like Tana can text me about that, like we should have like a business relationship, like anyways. But I feel like my like great despisal, that's not a word, but despisal of like messaging them, especially now, also kind of like I feel like connects to like me not having done the thing, not because I'm like I hate them and like therefore I am not doing like the reading the mission thing or whatever. I don't know why I keep calling it mission things, that's like not the talk thing. It's not like connected in that way, but it's just like the fact that I feel like I cannot like deal with a single thing. Like I can't handle a single thing right now. Like I need to not do a single thing for like the rest of my life. Like I am so burnt out. It's funny because like it's been like I've had like multiple days of like rest, I guess, but I also feel like it hasn't been rest. I feel like that's the other thing. Like I haven't been like I haven't even been like happier doing what I want to do. So I feel like that's like kind of what it is too. Like I'm just wasting away right now. So yeah. So yeah. So yeah. Anyways, but that's just me. Let me know how you are doing, pal of mine. It's funny because it has been an hour. Like like it just has been. And that's a little annoying. Anyways, I am all chatted out now. But there's just a very, very full update on me. I just love Levi so much. I just do. I am excited for you to read it whenever you do. I am excited. I hope you like it. Let me know what you think. Yeah, I'm just gonna be done talking. Like, I just am done. So, I love Yoongi and you. I love every single member of BTS. They're all the best. Hobie hopes you have a swell day. Swell as tay. Code word. Jimin's butt cheeks. And Jimin with short hair that makes him look like a little boy. Because he's so cute with short hair. And Hail Namjoon with like long hair, like pulled up and like in like a bun. Like Hail that Namjoon. It doesn't exist, but like in my heart, Hail Namjoon with long hair in a bun.